Hey, welcome back to another edition of the Best Women's Boxing Show, period. Actually, it's the 360 Hollywood Fight Night edition. That's what it is.
It's a takeover.
It's a takeover. I'm Cynthia Conte.
And I'm Jeandra LeBeauf.
Yes. And then, so real fast, before we bring in our guest, really fast, we got to talk about something happening in boxing.
Yes, indeed. Let us talk.
Okay. Adrian Broner was supposed to have a press conference the other day, and he did. By, to his defense, he did show up, but he
has something.
He didn't like the fact that it was a Zoom. And to be fair, Luis Ortiz and Andy Ruiz had an actual press conference in Los Angeles yesterday, and Adrian Broner feels like he's kind of like a side piece. He was mad at Al Heyman. He was mad at Steven Espinosa. He's mad at everybody. He's just being Broner. But now they had another one today at 2 p.m. I'm surprised they even gave him another one. Brittany, we love you. Shout out to Brittany Goosen for, she has to deal with all of this. Everyone has to deal with this.
A woman's job is never done.
Exactly. Y'all hear that? Remember that. So Adrian Broner is coming out, and he's headlining. Yes, this mofo has been around. The last time I saw him, he fought against Manny Pacquiao. He thought he totally won.
Payday.
Got a payday. But now he's getting another headlining gig. What does Adrian Broner have in his secret sauce that allows him, besides his crazy mouth?
He's just, you know what? Ultimately, love Broner or hate Broner, he has this polarizing ability to put people in seats.
Yeah.
People are going to show up for the Adrian Broner show. I think I remember when they were talking about Adrian Broner should fight Floyd.
Oh, Lord.
100 years ago.
Yeah.
And he just is a polarizing guy. He has a lot of personality, gets into a lot of trouble. He's a bad boy. He's kind of like the Charlie Sheen of boxing. He's got hella women, hella baby mamas.
The videos.
Not judging. These
girl,
are just
the
facts.
videos, remember I'd be sending, I'm like, what?
I remember when they were leaking the videos on.
He be eating sushi. You know what I mean? Sushi. I ain't gonna even go into that because that's a little too.
Oh, this is
we
don't want our video flagged. But then this fight itself against Omar Figueroa, it's so long overdue.
Right.
I remember they were supposed to fight before. There was talks of them fighting before, and it just never happened.
Well, we'll see. We're gonna see what Adrian Broner has in the tank. We're gonna see what Figueroa has from. I really want to see what Adrian's gonna come out rapping to, his fight outfit. It's the Adrian show. That's all. It's the Broner show.
Here's food for thought for you boxing fans who've been around a long time ago. If you know us, you've been around for a while. Remember when Broner was supposed to fight Terrence Crawford, but then he moved up in weight when Crawford was fighting at 135.
So Crawford was he technically running? I don't know.
Keep running away.
Oh, yeah. All right. Well, there's not much more to say about Adrian Broner until we actually see him fight. If he actually makes weight, that's a big deal. I don't even know if there's a rehydration clause. I don't know.
There's probably a spectrum of
Is there a catch weight? I don't know. We'll find out, but that's what's so fun about boxing. But we're going to bring in our next guest. You know what? There's a lot of people high on this gentleman from Cork, Ireland. He is making a splash. He's making headlines. He is actually under the tutelage of Hall of Famer trainer Mr. Freddie Roach at Wild Card.
Shout out to Freddie Roach.
Shout out to Freddie. Shout out to Marie. Shout out to everyone over there at my old gym.
Wild Card.
Mr. Callum Walsh, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you for taking the time out. I know that we have some of your undercard fighters on the show. So, and you know what? Blame Tom because we had him on earlier and he just loved to talk. But he was speaking very, very high of you. He was telling me and Jeandra about Dana White being very high on you. Let me ask you, has the big lights, the bright lights kind of been like, whoa, what is this?
No, I feel good. Look, this is what I've trained for. This is all I've ever wanted. So, yeah, it feels good to have all these interviews, everybody like Dana White on board. It's unbelievable. I love it.
Oh, good. It's a little history since you don't know me. I was, and I'm really sad. I used to host the Hollywood Fight Nights. I was in the ring, getting the everyone popped up. I did all the interviews. I worked for Ring Magazine, Ring TV, and I would do all the things. I've worked with Tom Loeffler for quite a while, but now, no more.
I know.
We're trying to get back there. You know what? Why don't you say a friendly hello to Dana White for us? against women in boxing. But so you fight out of Long Beach, and you're from Ireland, where we all know the great Katie Taylor. And so when you think of Irish boxing, we automatically, for us, we think of Katie Taylor, and now we're going to think of Callum Walsh. What is it about Irish boxers besides bare knuckle fighting?
Yeah, I suppose just in Ireland, we all like to fight. I've been fighting since I was 6 years old.
Wow.
All the time, even like me and my friends and stuff, we used to all fight each other out on the street. So yeah,
That's for fun.
but yeah. But definitely the Irish people, we just love to fight, and there is no better fans in the world than the Irish boxing fans.
Irish fans are so exciting. I think
Yeah.
of the Notre Dame logo.
Yeah.
I think of Conor McGregor, Becky
Yeah.
Lynch, Finn Balor.
Yeah.
Who are in WWE. There are a lot of famous people who come from Ireland. So you guys like to fight a lot, but when did you know that you wanted to fight as a profession, as a way to make money, and not just in the streets getting turned up?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I started boxing when I was 6 years old, and straight away I sparred when I was six, and I loved
Wow.
it. And yeah, I stuck with it. And then when I was around 15, I started to win national titles, and that's when I won. I was 17 and I won a European gold medal, and I was aiming for the Olympics. My dream was always to go to the Olympics and try and bring a medal from the Olympics. And when COVID happened, I was just left train like all the boxing gyms and everything closed in Ireland. So I was just left training by myself in my back garden. I just had a bag out there. I used to hit the bag and go running, and that's when I decided to make the move here to Los Angeles. And first, I
Really?
was going to train
You
here.
just picked up and said, I'm moving to LA and hopefully in hopes of turning pro? Or
No, I was actually going to come here and train for the Olympics. Yeah, I ended up with Freddie then, and I decided I'd stay here and turn pro.
there's so many world class trainers, Hall of Fame trainers. Why did you choose Freddie?
Well, actually, the Wildcat was the first gym I went to. I always knew I wanted to be in the Wildcat. I actually went to the Wildcat for the first time when I was 15, and I got a photo with Freddie, and it was unbelievable. So when I came back here, I went in and I just asked him, could I train there? And it was actually a Wednesday when I went in, and it was a sparring day. So Freddie told me if I was going to train, I had to spar. So
Oh, when
Yeah,
he first saw
that's
you spar, what was his reaction? His thoughts about you?
yeah, well, he told me I had to spar, so I went in and I wasn't even fit. I literally just came straight from Ireland. Wasn't I didn't spar in months. And yeah, I got thrown in there with I think it was Blair the Flair.
Oh,
Yeah,
oh, he'll
So-
show up every time.
And
Even
talk a lot.
sparring. Oh yeah. Was he talking shit to you? Was he talking in the ring like,
Oh,
woo?
yeah, he was. Yeah.
Gotta love
But,
Blair.
So I done a couple of rounds with him, and Freddie seemed to be happy enough with it, and he wanted to keep me on. So
Oh,
I just stayed there.
good. And we know Freddie Roach. He loves aggressive fighters. And based on your record and based on what I've seen of you, you don't like to do rounds. And I even told Tom, I go, doesn't he want to get some rounds in to see where you're at? But I get it. You want to get the knockout. You want to just, you don't get paid for overtime. I get it. And you're a southpaw. You are a super welterweight. So it's a very, all those divisions right now, everyone's moving up and moving down, or actually really moving up. But what is it that from Freddie that have you learned? Because I know when you're in, you were trying to be in the Olympics, but now you went straight pro.
Yeah, definitely. What I've learned from Freddie is that aggressive style that he loves, just fighting, and you've seen it from my three fights. I've just been working on it, just sitting down on punches.
Yeah.
And Freddie, see, after my first fight, it lasted 30 seconds, and my second fight was 30 seconds. And going into the third fight, everybody was like, "Oh, do you need rounds?"
Yeah.
And one thing Freddie told me is, "Don't take any chances. If you can knock him out, just
Yeah.
do it and get out of there. There's no point taking chances." Because I get enough rounds sparring every week. So I spar with the world class fighters every week. So I don't need rounds really when I fight.
What about that sparring session do you remember?
It was definitely an eye opener anyway of just to see the big difference between the amateur and the pro style. Because they're used to sparring rounds. I remember I never even sparred more than 3 3-minute rounds in my life. And when I went in there, like I was just at faster pace, obviously like the amateur style, throwing a lot of punches. And I remember after just one round, I was so tired. And that's what I remember. And I was already nervous because I was sparring in front of Freddie, and I wanted to look good. But yeah, just all the like the tricks of the pro style and sitting down and relaxing more. Yeah, that's what I can remember. Just trying to get more rounds and relax more.
Who do you look up to as fighters?
To be honest, like I haven't even really watched much boxing through my whole career. I just
What?
watched. Yeah, I swear. Yeah, it's weird. I don't even watch that much boxing really. I just kind of focus on myself and do my own training. And obviously, like I watch the big fights, but I don't think I have any fighters that I actually kind of look up to and like for their styles, or obviously for what people have done for the sports. I look up to like in UFC, like what McGregor has done for Ireland, putting Ireland on the map there. Like that's the kind of stuff I look for, like what I can do for my country, what I can do for myself. But in terms of like fighters and their styles, I just kind of focus on my own style and do my own thing.
Because you only think when you, well, like I said, when you think of Irish fighters, you'll think Katie Taylor, and then also Conor McGregor, and then also now you're carrying the flag on your back. I know Tom said that you, Tom and Cecilia went to the Katie Taylor versus Serrano match, correct, in New York. As we got to see it on TV and just feeling the electricity, feeling that energy coming through the screen was so different, and it made us very emotional. You actually being there, I'm not sure how big of a fan of women's boxing you are, but you being there physically, how did that make you feel, and what did you see?
Yeah, no, it was unbelievable being there. It was a crazy fight. It was very good. See, I met Katie a couple of times from training back home in the high performance. I met her a couple of times there when I was younger, like 13, 14, 15, growing up. So actually being there and seeing that fight and just seeing what like Katie was doing for women's boxing and just for Ireland in general, it was unbelievable being there.
That's good. Now, we saw you at UFC making your rounds during the Hall of Fame. Do you think you'd ever go down that route, UFC? Maybe grapple, wrestle, besides
Or
throw?
just strike the hell out of them before they
That's
can
true.
put you on the floor.
You see all the UFC fighters or MMA fighters want to come into boxing because
Exactly.
the money, but you got to know how to box.
Exactly.
Do you ever think you'd go over there? Has Dana ever said,
Yeah,
why don't you come hang out and like maybe fight on some undercards?
yeah, no, Dana hasn't offered it yet, but definitely if the opportunity came about, I would 100% do it. I train with Tony Ferguson from the UFC
Ooh.
constantly. Me and him work together all the time, and right now I'm actually training like kicks and wrestling and some jiu-jitsu and stuff with him. So I think maybe in a couple of years, if the timing was right and the money obviously was right, then yeah, no problem. I would definitely fight in the UFC.
What's the hardest part of switching between the two styles? I always have this thought in my mind that an MMA fighter coming over to boxing is going to accidentally try to sweep the leg, Cobra Kai style.
You know what? I've asked
something
people
like
this,
that.
and they said we're professionals. We know not to do certain things like that.
So what part of your instincts kick in when you're doing that type of train? I mean, even the gloves, it's so very different.
Yeah, it's definitely a lot different anyway, like with the takedowns and stuff like that, and kicks. Just like because you'd never like you wouldn't be looking for kicks in boxing, so just trying to like see where they're coming from and stuff. It's hard, and yeah, just takedowns and like you can't even compare the two trainings because it's so different. Now, if I was an MMA fighter going to boxing, definitely trying not to kick someone would be very hard.
Yeah.
But coming the other way is not too bad. Like going from boxing to MMA, because obviously, like my boxing would be very good compared to UFC fighters. But yeah, I'm just trying to learn like how to like the takedowns and jujitsu and stuff. So they have like yeah, that's the advantage they have there. But yeah, it's good training. It's good to cross train. It makes things fun and I enjoy it.
Keep you sharp.
How good does that feel to see ringside? You see Tom Loeffler and you see Dana White watching you in the ring, and you're so. No, I'm not new to boxing, but you're still so new as a pro, and he's really high on you, and that you're here when you come to Vegas. You're doing all the rounds with all the media. How good does that feel?
Yeah, it's an unbelievable feeling having Dana White there. Like Dana as a man, like I've always watched UFC my whole life, probably more than boxing
I
to
was
be
gonna say,
honest.
but you don't watch boxing.
Yeah. To be fair, yeah. But me and my friends back home, like anytime there was a UFC event, it'd be like Conor McGregor fights, anything, we'd always stay up and watch it. And Dana is a man that I've seen like on the TV for years, and then like actually like having him there, watching my fights now, and working with him, and Howler Head whiskey and everything. It's unbelievable.
Well, we're really excited to see you. I'm gonna make Jeandra, since she lives in LA. She's gonna have to sit ringside, and
I'm going.
And once you knock out Benjamin Whittaker, I'm already saying it. You're gonna have to do an interview with Jeandra.
You have to lean out the ring and look at Dana and tell him to go ahead and crown me.
And lastly, what's the best advice Dana has given you?
I suppose the best thing he told me is just for the next 10 years of my career, just concentrate and just stay away from drinking, all that kind of stuff, stay away from parties, and just concentrate for these next 10 years. And he told me I can make a lot more money than anybody has ever.
Oh, see, he's so high. At first, I thought you said stay away from panties. Parties.
Yeah, definitely.
Never that.
Oh, all right, Callum. Well, we wish you the best of luck. You guys tune in to Hollywood Fight Nights on UFC Fight Pass. If not, if you're in Montebello, go check out Quiet Canyon Country Club and go say, hey, what's up to Jay? She'll be there. I'm making her go.
I'll be there.
August 4th. And so good luck to you and best of luck to you and Freddie. Tell Freddie, what's up from Cynthia and Jeandra.
And Marie too.
I know. We love them. All right. And we'll see you again. We're going to interview you when I know that you're going to knock him out, unless you get some round unders under your belt. And we'll be like, so how did it feel to go more than 30 seconds?
Exactly.
We'd love to hear that. All right. Best of luck to you. Thank you.
Perfect. Thanks very much.
Thank you. All right, so Jay, this was interviewing him for the very first time. He's so like poised and so sweet, and just for the fact that Dana White sits front row for Callum Walsh. He's only 3-0 by 3 knockouts. He knocks everyone out in 30 seconds.
Love Dana or hate Dana, we know Dana has an eye for talent.
Yeah. Obviously.
And so he sees something, so we definitely got to keep an eye on that.
Yeah, so like I said, Jeandra, you need to go. For all of you guys, obviously you're going to see this show before the show happens. Say what's up to Jay. Buy her a drink. Oh! We can't make this up.
We share a brain. We share a brain.
Oh my God.
Geniuses. We geniuses.
Oh my Lanta. You see that, Alex, our new engineer? Do you see we have this thing going on?
We have to be like the cone heads to each other.
But yeah, based on what Callum said, that's really great advice what Dana White said to him. And you know what? That goes for everyone. And for everyone in the fight game.
I'm surprised he didn't be like, stay away from liquor. I'm Irish.
I know.
Hold my beer.
But what's so funny is that he's like, I don't really watch boxing, but he watches a lot of UFC.
Man.
I guarantee you he'll be, he might make a cross promotion. You never know. He has a good stand-up game. He likes to knock people out. And if he's able to get his ground game going, his ground and pound too, and his kicks, wow.
And UFC already has a built-in tremendous Irish fan base. Thanks to Conor McGregor. You know, put him in, coach. Put him in.
Oh, my goodness. Hey, everyone. We are back. Sorry, we took a little quick break, but we got in the studio for Best Women's Boxing Show, period. I want to make sure I get the name because there's so many different names, or 2 different names. We have either Jimwell or Emmanuel Pacquiao Jr. in the house. If y'all don't know the name, Senator Manny Pacquiao, 8-division world champion. I'm just saying, I'm so excited we were able to make this happen. You have no idea. I pulled out my Rolodex to get this happening. But Emmanuel, what do you go by? Do you go by Emmanuel? Do you go by Jimwell? What do you go by?
Well, most of my friends call me Jimwell, so I guess Jimwell is good.
How did you get that name Jimwell from Emmanuel?
It's actually because my mom is Jinky and my dad is Emmanuel, so they kind of like combined it together, so it came out Jimwell.
That's cute. Okay, that's
some
great.
love.
Because even Tom Loeffler, we had him on earlier, and he's like, it depends on who you're talking to. They'll say Jimwell or Emmanuel. So
What you
interesting.
want us to call you?
I know.
Champ?
Future champ.
That works too.
There you go. All right. So, we know that you're going to be fighting. You are a special attraction for 360 Hollywood Fight Nights. And the fact that, when even the non-boxing fan, when they see your last name, they geek out. It's like, oh my God, that's Manny Pacquiao's son. And obviously, you know what? And I get it. For the juniors, they automatically think they're gonna fight like their father. But I don't see you fighting like your father. But yet you're still very, very new. The one thing I do notice, you got those calves. You got the Manny Pacquiao calves. Do you run as many miles as your dad?
Well, I train a little bit differently, because I kind of follow my coach's program for me.
Okay.
So it's kind of different from his, but I guess it's just genetics. So,
It's all right. I got them Filipino calves too. Not as big as yours. And I don't run as many miles as you. And I don't do as many 1,000+ sit-ups as your dad. But I got them calves too.
Okay, we're going to make a shirt. I got them Filipino calves.
Oh, yeah.
That's
Go
so
on, Jay.
funny
I know
to
you
me.
got some questions for him.
I'm always intrigued by father-son combinations. So what do you feel you need to do? I mean, the name is always going to speak for you to a certain extent. But what do you want for this stage of your career? What do you want your path to look like? What do you hope to accomplish within, say, the next couple years, since this is the beginning of your journey?
Actually, me and my Coach Marvin, we actually have a plan. So, so we go step by step. And right now, I just want to get as much fights as I can in the amateurs, because they say the reason why you're in the amateurs is for experience. So I just want to get as much experience as I can before turning professional. And that would be up to Coach Marvin.
Yeah. In your amateur record right now, you suffered your first defeat. And like they said, in the amateurs, it doesn't count. This is where you make your mistakes. This is where you hone in on your skills. And, your father he also had defeats in his pro and amateur career. So for you going in, carrying that name, the Pacquiao name, and going into the amateurs, do you feel like you already have a step up because of that name and they're expecting you to fight like Pacquiao, your dad? Or is it that you just be like, I am my own person. I am not a southpaw. I'm an orthodox fighter, first of all, but does that weigh heavy on you?
I mean, it is a little challenging because, my name and people want to, they really want to prove something every time I get in there with them. Like even in the gym, it's really challenging. But I have a really good team, and they make sure I'm ready for every fight. And this next one, I'll be coming in. I'll be ready.
What is it like to be on this side of the fandom now? For many years, you spend your watching the fight, but now being on the other side of it, do you feel comfortable because you've been around so much fanfare and chaos in your life with, just because of your legacy? Is it nervous? How do you feel comfortable?
Oh, actually, at first it was kind of hard for me because the reason why I wanted to pursue boxing over here was to stay away from the attention. But they keep telling me that it's unavoidable even if I do it over here. It's still gonna create some noise. I mean, because of my dad and what he did. So at first I was kind of like uncomfortable with it. But then, over time, they keep telling me that it's part of it, and eventually you have to get used to it. So, I'm slowly accepting it now, and I'm just trying to do my best.
Have you ever wanted to change your name and just be, I don't want none of this. I want my own journey. I'm going to change my name to a stage name. Yeah. Have you ever wanted that?
I actually thought about that, but, they say that's not really, it can be really
You look
hard.
exactly like your dad.
Yeah, exactly.
But I look at you, I see your mom.
Really?
I see in here. I see Manny here.
I see Manny here, and I see
Jinky here.
Yeah, I could see that. But you're still a junior. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, you know, when shoot, what was my question? It was I can't remember. Going, you know, ask the question. I totally forgot my question.
So now in these special attraction fights, it's still a hard journey. Do you feel that people are respecting your journey thus far? Because sometimes when you have a fan like Floyd is a junior, Shane Mosley,
Yep.
we talked to Shane Mosley Jr. He has that. Nico Ali Walsh has to deal with Muhammad, you know, the legacy of Muhammad Ali. How do you feel in that situation? Do people respect you? Are they shady to you because, oh, you're just trying to ride your dad's coattails?
Yeah.
How do you navigate that amongst your peers?
Actually, I just make sure that I keep my circle small. So the people around me, I make sure that they're really 100% in, that they support me, because there will always be haters. You know, it's unavoidable. So yeah, we try to keep our circle small. And right now, I'm satisfied with, you know, who I'm with. So that's a good thing.
If you were what was your fake name gonna be?
Yeah.
Fake name?
Did you pick one? If you were
I
gonna
actually
change your
haven't
name?
thought about it, but
You should think of one, and you know,
I've got a bunch of fake names, but that's for when I'm giving my phone number out.
because I know you're a YouTuber also, so I know you could also make like fake accounts just to see what people. Yeah, you know, you probably have one.
And we're gonna go out there and we're gonna see videos. It's gonna be like David Johnson. You're like, he looks
David
just
Johnson.
like Manny Pacquiao.
Right?
Go figure.
Right? Now, okay, so I know the conversation of wanting to go into boxing, it's your father probably did not think, please, son, I worked my whole life for you to have a great life, to do something else, maybe become a doctor, whatever it was. How did that conversation go down with your father? Maybe your mother was very, you know, supportive, but your father, I want to be a boxer, and because he knows how hard the life was.
yeah. Actually, both of them didn't want me to pursue boxing, but yeah, you know, I just fell in love with the sport, and I don't know, I have no other way to say it, you know. I just fell in love with the sport, and boxing is my motivation, and yeah, I just want to prove something to myself, and I know I can do it.
What is it? What do you want to prove to yourself, that you can do it?
Yeah.
What is the goal? Is the goal to be a world champion? Is the goal to be undefeated? Is the goal to be undisputed? Or is it the goal that you did it?
First off, it was just, you know, that I can turn pro and that I can fight. But then, yeah, world title really sounds, you know, it sounds really good. Yeah. So right now I'm just trying to take it step by step. I'm listening to Coach Marvin on everything. And yeah, we have a good plan lined up.
With the differences you mentioned, as your dad's a southpaw, you are not, how would you describe your style specifically?
Me? I guess right now, it's since I'm at a very early stage, me and Coach Marvin, we're still kind of like exploring what I do best and what I need to work on and stuff. So, but I do have like stuff I like to do. So I guess right now we're still, you know, looking to see what more I can do and what to improve on.
You know, you are training over at Wildcard with Marvin Samodia, and you also see, I know Freddie Roach sees you. I remember asking your father, I forgot which fight, I think it was against Broner, you know, you walked in through these doors, and little did Freddie Roach know you would be the next best thing. And I remember Manny saying that, he's like, I just wanted to come fight, you know, I just wanted to come train with Boo Boy and whatnot. Now that you're fighting in the same gym your father has trained at for many years and become a world champion over and over, and has had legacy fights, and now Marvin Samodia was part of his team for many, many years, and now the fact that Marvin is your coach, does Marvin ever say, you know, does he ever reminisce, oh my goodness, your dad used to do this? And does Freddie say, oh, your dad used to do this, and you do this really well just like him?
Yes. Me and Coach Marvin, actually, I mean, I see him almost every day. So yeah, we do talk about sometimes like stuff like that. But yeah, we just focus on what I need to improve on. But there are some things that like I get from my dad and from other fighters too. And I do tell Coach Marvin about it. Like, oh, I do this because I kind of, you know, I think it works in this situation and stuff like that. So yeah.
So tell us some more things about you, because a lot of people are going to be new to you. You're still an amateur. So we're learning your story, and we want to know about you as an individual. So when you're outside of the ring, what brings you joy? What hobbies do you have that you feel comfortable sharing? What are some things about you that you think we should know?
Well, outside of boxing, I mostly just like to, hang out with friends and family. And I'm also a big sports fan. So I like basketball, football, and I'm getting into baseball now. So,
Oh,
yeah.
good.
If you could swap to another sport, what sport do you think you could play well? Not necessarily as a professional. What sport do you think of those you could step out and be like, you know what, I can get down with the basketball or football?
I can see you playing basketball, but I've never seen you play basketball, so I'm not sure.
Yeah.
You got them calves. You might want to be like a running back or something. You might be good with football too.
Oh, yeah. Football. Man, when I learned about football, I actually also fell in love with it. I've
Who's
been
your
watching
team?
hours and hours.
Who's your team right now?
Well, they say if you're from LA, you got to be,
Rams.
LA.
Represent.
So, yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay,
Exactly.
okay,
Represent.
but
Yeah.
you know you have a secret team that you like. That's not Rams.
Don't
Who is it?
nobody like the Patriots, Cynthia.
Hey, I
We
like
round. Thank you, sir. We round fans over here.
Rams.
We round fans over here.
Wait, so not in your spare time, do you not do karaoke like your dad? Do you sing?
No, I don't. That's just him.
Oh, come on. You don't sing. Do you speak Tagalog?
Yeah, I do.
He better.
I do
His
speak
mama
Tagalog.
gonna kill him if he don't speak Tagalog.
Was that your first language?
No. My first language was another dialect in the Philippines, which was Bisaya.
Oh,
So I kinda
Visayan.
I speak that better than Tagalog.
Oh, okay.
oh.
My best friend was Ilocano.
Ilocano. Oh, they're all so
Ilocano.
hard. They're all very hard. Wow. Why am I having so many brain farts when I'm asking you all these questions? Because I'm so excited to talk to you. Because when it comes to my peoples, I get so excited. The last time I saw your dad, it was after one of his runs. We were having breakfast at his house. It was a media thing, and obviously, yes. Oh yeah, that's what I'm going to ask. Duh. I was able to ask about politics in the Philippines because I'm Filipino, so I can ask.
Yeah.
And the one thing that I remember your father saying, the first thing he did when he became senator was put in a bill for fighters that had, who fought too long and that there was no health care, there was no this, or there's no money. And I thought, wow, how come no one wrote about this in U.S. press? Because that's big. A lot of people don't ever think in other countries, they don't think of ever putting in a bill to help elder fighters that have put their life on the line for years. Now, we've seen that your father has, he placed third in the presidential, but now we see, I always said he was going to come back out. I don't know how you feel about him wrapping up the gloves, but he's going to be fighting an exhibition fight against a guy. Exhibition. A Korean YouTuber, DKU. I'm not exactly sure. I did research him a little bit. Interesting guy. He does some kind of meditation, something. But why did your dad choose him of all people out of any exhibitioner? I'm just curious.
I actually don't have an answer. I also just found out about it. So,
really? So when you found out, I don't know if you found it from social media or your family told you that your dad's gonna wrap his hands up. When you found out when he was gonna come back into the ring, even its exhibition, did you like, Dad, no more, or were you excited for him?
When I heard exhibition, that was also kind of like a relief, So it's not like he's coming back to fight like a young, hungry guy or anything like that.
Yeah.
So, exhibition, I mean, it's okay. I mean, Mayweather's been doing it, and now, a lot of retired boxers are coming back to do it.
Yeah.
So, I guess exhibitions are okay.
How many times are we going to see you fight this year? So we have the fight coming up before the end of the year. How many times? I know you, Marvin, have a plan, but are there plans for you to fight more times before the close of the year?
Actually, yeah. We're trying to get as much experience as possible. So we're looking into, different events. We're trying to sign up. So we'll see by the end of the year.
If you could point to a fighter, outside of your household that you enjoy watching, what are some styles that you enjoy? What is must-see TV for you?
I enjoy watching hard hitters. So Tank Davis, Pitbull Cruz. I like that guy so much.
Isaac Cruz, okay.
And yeah, so there's just something about like speed and power. It's just Canelo. I love watching Canelo so much.
When I was watching some of your amateur bouts, there are some things. If I didn't see your face, I mean, obviously your calves, you do have the speed of your dad at times. Like there's certain things that he'll be like, ah, da, 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 da. There's a moment that I'm like, oh my God, he does look like his dad. You have a very strong right hand. You do an overhand right that people don't even see, and it's the way the flurry of punches that you go in. I'm like, that's so, you mimic your father, and you do it well. And it's not like you're doing it on purpose. That's just your style. You've seen that many times. But I think once you develop your craft and you really figure out what you're really good at, I'm excited to watch you on UFC Fight Pass on August 4th to see you. I mean, a lot of people are excited about you. I'm just excited to see, another Filipino in the ring, to carry on the flag, and not necessarily your father's name, but just to carry your own legacy, to forge your own path and see where you go with it. Who knows? You never know. You might end up fighting, I don't know. Wait, what weight class are you at right now?
Right now, my next fight's going to be at 140. So we're trying to go down, slowly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, God, we've spoken to a couple 140ers in your weight class today, some prospects.
It's getting crowded.
Yeah, it's getting crowded, and that's a good division to be in.
So did you have to sneak out to train? Since you were given clear messaging, we don't want you to fight. Were you sneaking out, or did you have to have the conversation like,
no.
Look, I'm trying to do this. Please support me.
Actually, I didn't have to hide anything. They just know that, like after school, where I go is the boxing gym. And yeah, it's also partly why I kind of started the amateurs late, was because of, my parents. But I've always been in that gym. So
You grew up there,
I was
yeah.
learning in there, like from sparring more experienced guys. And yeah, they really give me the work. And yeah, so I never really had to hide it. But when it came to starting to fight, then that's when I had to really do some convincing.
Do people have to test you? Do people try to test you like, okay, you think you're tough because you're the legacy? Let's see. Do you run into that in the gym? Just people trying to step to you just on that?
Yeah. I think, yeah, sometimes like I can tell, but it's also, I think it's Coach Marvin that wants to push me. So, sometimes I get like hard sparring sessions in and, and stuff like that. But I know I have to go through it, if I really want to continue.
Mm-hmm. What's your other dream? If you did not want to be a boxer, what did you want to be when you grow up? What else?
I actually wanted to, also help out other fighters. So like I told my mom and dad that, like outside of boxing, I also want to help out other fighters in the Philippines, because I know there's like a lot of talent out there. There's a lot of very good Filipino fighters. So like eventually I want to be able to, like help and like promote some of them. So yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's great.
You don't have to wait. I mean,
you could do it on the side. I mean, you have right now.
Lots of active fighters are also promoters.
Yeah, and yeah, right. And then you have like Sean Gibbons, who's president of Manny Pacquiao Promotions. So, I mean, sadly, all the Filipino fighters lost their belts, but they're going to get it back. But it's, you know what? We are strong. We are strong.
Mabuhay.
Mabuhay. But I know that we're going to have to let you go. Thank you for giving us your time. And she will be at the fights in LA, because I'm in Vegas.
I live by SoFi. Rams Nation, stand up.
Rams Nation.
And I have to say, I just had a baby. So the first fight I came back out was your father's fight against Ugas. I'm like, I need to have this baby and get out of like maternity leave so I can work my first fight back after 6 years. Well, not 6 years. After a whole year of having a baby. And I was like, it was sad. I cried. But it was, one of the best fights going out. And I'm so happy that he's doing what he wants to do. And now he's going to go fight YouTubers. Go for it. Everyone.
YouTubers.
You why not?
Everyone's doing it.
You know what? Can you put in a word for your dad? We'd love to interview. Just say it's the girl that sang with him, Gaano, on Ring Magazine, Ring TV.
All right.
Tell him to check his Twitter DMs because he follows me, and I be in there. Dear Senator Pacquiao, how are you today? I would really like to talk to you.
Well, we thank you for your time, Emmanuel. Can you do a shout out in Visayan or Tagalog, whichever you want, why everyone should
Tagalog.
tune in to UFC Fight Pass August 4th?
Panoorin niyo po ako sa August 4 sa aking laban. And salamat po sa inyong suporta and pagpatuloy niyo lang po.
Oh, that was
There you
beautiful.
go.
Mabuhay.
She said thank you. She's like, mabuhay.
That's like that, and the foods. That's
Yeah.
that's like the extent of my Tagalog.
What do you eat for fight? I know that, are you getting adobo? Are you getting...
Some pancit,
But she's looking at
lumpia, all that.
I actually just try to eat what my dad eats. So,
Giniling.
Oh, y'all healthy over
Yeah.
there.
Well, no, there was some food. No, when we had breakfast, I haven't had home cooked Filipino food in, oh my God, so long. We
Same.
had giniling, we had some rice, we had a little bit of adobo. I was like, oh my God.
I'm hungry.
You're hungry. Do you eat dinuguan?
No, I don't eat that.
Do you eat pork?
Pork, actually, no. Me and my dad, we both don't eat pork.
Oh, that's interesting. Okay. It's the chocolate meat.
Oh.
She's like,
What's the thing called with the jackfruit and the banana and you fry it?
turon.
Turon.
I'll make you turon.
I love that.
That's good.
Heck yeah. I
Well,
like that.
the next time you're in Las Vegas, we film in Vegas. We have a full kitchen. Come hang
We
out
gonna
with
cook
us.
with you.
Let's cook. Let's cook some.
Sure.
Filipino food.
You know what? Bring your mom.
I
Actually,
love. You know what?
Come with your mom.
Yeah, I met your dad's mom. We took a picture, and she was looking at me. I was like, oh my gosh, she's so sweet. It was your mom, and I think your aunt, or the sister. I can't remember, but it was one of the last of workouts at. What is it called? Wild Card. But yeah, bring your whole family. We'll do
Yeah.
a whole
Bring
Filipino
everybody.
cooking. Oh my God.
Bring
you have no
Boy,
idea.
bring Marvin.
I don't have parents anymore, so I
Whoever
really
brought you
truly
the earphones, bring them too.
Bring Jeff, bring Callie, whatever.
Bring everybody. Bring the dog.
Bring Marvin, yes. Bring his kids,
Coach.
everybody. It will be a whole Filipino thing.
Whole family.
Okay, we know you got to get to sparring, but thank you so much. Everyone, tune in August 4th, UFC Fight Pass for 360 Fight Nights, Hollywood Fight Nights, and you're going to see Emmanuel Pacquiao Jr. Good luck to you.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you
Okay,
for having
bye.
me.
Oh, that was fun. He
I
was so
know.
fun to talk to.
Yeah, he's got to get. We're trying to get the whole family up in here. We're
Oh,
trying
yeah.
to kick it. We're gonna cook. We're gonna eat some lumpia,
Uh-huh.
some pancit, some turon,
We're going to eat everything.
some rice.
Girl, on
trying to eat all the food.
for what was it, Father's Day? I finished. I made homemade egg rolls, and I made it for Dimitri. And I'm like, "Do you want this?" I'm like, because I felt like cooking. He's like, "Do we have any more your egg rolls?" I'm like, "Yeah." And I'm gonna teach Brooklyn how to make it because it's a secret recipe. So he's
You
like,
got to carry the family legacy.
yeah. And I was like, someone needs to know. He's like, you could tell me. I'm like, no, Brooklyn. If Brooklyn don't know it, then it's not my fault. Like he doesn't want to do it.
a whole day of filming, and we finally have a woman.
I know.
Yay!
All right, are we recording, Alex? Yep. All right, okay. Well, again, this is another edition of the Best Women's Boxing Show, period. I mean, I don't have to keep saying the name because
saying it so they remember.
We saying it. We just interviewed Callum Walsh, Emmanuel Pacquiao Jr., and now we got a female. Whoa.
Period.
Oh, yeah, Chelsea Mae Anderson.
Badass.
Woo! You know what? When your coach, Aaron Tohill, DM'd me, you need to interview her. This is how the whole 360 interview started of the edition. Because I used to work 360 Fight Nights. I was the hostess. Oh, you saw me? I was like, it's Fight Night, bitches! I can't say that. Now I can say it now. But so when she told me, she's like, you need to have her. And I've seen you fight. I was like, oh, this girl. Oh, this girl. And Erin she's a tough ass cookie. If you can keep up with her and you train with her, she gonna kick your ass.
Period.
And you know, I have to say, we have to interview her because she used to be on American Gladiators.
Really?
Oh my God.
Oh, that used to be
Oh my God.
back in the day. I
So
love American
when you see
Gladiators.
Erin, tell her we want her on the show because
For sure.
A, she's I love her. She's a badass. But so Chelsea, I did watch your fight last night against Juarez. So, you know, you're a very tall, rangy fighter. And for Tom to put you Tom is very selective of who he puts on the card, and so is Charles. He's the matchmaker, but he's a champion of women. He always puts women on the cards, and he just doesn't put any women just for the sake of it. So when he puts women on the card, there's a reason. And when I watched you fight, my God. My goodness, girl, you can bang. And the girl Juarez, she's going to be fighting against Alvina White on the card. So to see her back on the card, and but for you, it's kind of like what Erin said about you. She's a badass. She's gonna. And you know how Erin talks, but. We see you. You're so demure. You're in their glasses. No one would ever think you're a fighter. I would think you're a school teacher.
It's shade of like Clarkeisha Kent.
Yeah, I said that about Terry Harper. I'm like, you look like a school teacher. She's like, I am. I'm like, oh shit, my bad. But when you're fighting on a club card, and you got to make your name, and you're fighting on. You have Dana White sitting in front of you, front row seat. It's kind of nerve-wracking. How do you feel being in front of a crowd like that when it's a party setting?
So first of all, yes, Jessica and Elvina White are both fighting each other.
Yes.
And I don't know if you watched the fight with Elvina, but I just beat her previous to Jessica
yes,
too.
Yeah.
Just whipping ass.
You are.
Yeah. But Elvina was kind of like on a couple shows with them before me, so I was really not supposed to win that fight with her.
Oh,
I love it.
You know what?
Yeah.
She was doing really well. I remember seeing that fight because I remember I've interviewed Alvina a couple of times, and I've seen her on the show, and she just faded out. She faded out in the later rounds.
Yeah, well, it was the first round. She started off really strong.
Yeah.
And I'm tall, so everyone I fight, when the bell rings, they come at me.
Yep.
And she just walked into a straight right, and she dropped.
Yep.
And then the second round dropped her again. Third round was good. Fourth round, she came out swinging. It was a fun fight for 4 rounds.
Is the right, the straight right, the overhand right hooks? Is that the Sunday punch? Is that the great equalizer that's getting people out of there? Would you say
that's my money
standard?
punch. If you look at everyone's right eyes, they're always swollen.
I like that. It's not like if you see the way I throw the punches, if you look at the right eye.
Look at their right eyes.
Exactly.
You train.
But Elvina's cool. She's great. I love her. I love Jessica. They're both great fighters, and that is actually a really good fight, both of them fighting. And I can't wait to watch that fight, too.
This is good. I mean, this is a fun little fight. I mean, it's, you get true boxing fans that come out to this fight. It's, these are evenly matched, and for you to come up in the ranks and really show your skills, hone in on your skills. For people who don't know who you are, what kind of fighter are you, and who do you emulate, or who do you look up to, let's just say?
What's funny is I actually look up to Kelly Pavlik. I feel like we kind of have the same fighting style.
Well, that's interesting. I was just saying, I'm like, we need to have him on the show because I have him on like this thing, and I literally just read that like right before. I'm like, we need to get Kelly Pavlik, and you just said his name. It's out in the Boxing Gods. It's gonna happen.
There it is.
Kelly Pavlik.
And this fight, actually, my outfit that I got made is kind of like a tribute to Kelly Pavlik. So I'm doing a little Kelly Pavlik tribute fight. This next one.
Does he know this?
I'm gonna have to. We're gonna have.
I did tag him in the outfit, so
he has a podcast also.
Yeah, he's so good.
Yeah.
He's so good on the mic and
a nice
breaking
guy.
down. Yeah, you know what?
He's a
We got to
really
have him
nice guy.
in. We have to have Kelly. I'm gonna write this. Kelly, it's so weird that I literally just read it in this massive text chain that I have of 300 people. I was like, and then he said something. I was like, we need to have him on.
yeah.
Why Kelly Pavlik?
Yeah, right.
Why did you? Did your style naturally develop in a way that had similarities to Kelly Pavlik, or was it something that you willed yourself into being a fan of his style?
I think it kind of just naturally went that way because he retired in 2012. I didn't start boxing until after he retired. So my coach, Bobby, was actually like, hey, you gotta fight like him, watch him. And then I watched him, I was like, damn, this guy was freaking good. And I do love the way he fights, but just kind of like naturally.
Wow, interesting. Do you look up to any female fighters?
That was kind of tough. Like, I didn't really I think I got into boxing late, so the older female fighters, not so much. But I will say when I started boxing, I did there's two females I really did look up to. One was Cecilia Brækhus,
Yeah.
and two was Holly Holm.
Oh, those are really good. The two good females to look up to.
That's a great competition.
Yeah.
Holly Holm has made her transition over into UFC. You know, maybe
And-
we might see her.
Yeah, and she's a Hall of Fame, International Boxing Hall of Fame.
That's
The
right.
second class. So that's in good company that you like in Cecilia Brækhus, the longest undisputed queen.
And she's on her way back
Yeah.
in, too.
Yeah. So there's
Yeah, and I did actually used to go spar with her up in Big Bear, and she's a really nice person, and I think she's really great.
She's lovely. She's a lovely woman.
Wait, so you're 31 years old. How old did you get into boxing?
So, here's a little fun fact time.
Ooh.
So,
Break it down.
so when I was 22, when I was a teenager up to 21, 22, I was doing drugs, drinking, being an idiot, doing my thing. So when I got sober at 22, I started playing ice hockey again, and then I started boxing. But when I started boxing, I was just going, once, twice a week, just because I thought it was fun. And then 5 years ago, I was like, I kind of want to try to fight, and we can see what happens. So then I went to my now coach, Bobby, and then since then, here I am now.
What did you find in boxing that was comforting, that helped you kind of disrupt those demons of, putting alcohol addiction behind you? And what was it about boxing that helped you kind of bring yourself back to life?
Yeah. So it's funny, my dad actually is the one who brought me to my first gym. And like the first day he was like, you guys better not ever let her fight. I don't want her to fight. And I was like, I'm never going to fight, like whatever. But then like it just started going, and it just fell in love with it because it's something that's like, it was brand new to me. I've never done anything like it before. So I had to like really, like it was new. So it was something I was learning, and like didn't really have any like passions in my life. And then being able to like learn something new, and it was challenging, and you have to think, and it's just a lot of work, and it just really like caught my attention because there's nothing I really have ever fallen in love with before. And then the more I started going, the more I just started to fall in love with it.
As your skills increase and you develop your style and fall into your style, is there comfort in that? Where are you now compared to, in terms of your mental health, compared to when you first started?
I mean, from, being 21 now to 31, like what a journey it's been, and being sober for, 9 years now.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Just had 9 years, July 9th.
Oh, wow.
But just, it's just like, it's been the best thing that ever happened to me. Like I've met the best people in the world, like lifelong friends, men, women, sparring partners, everyone in this business. Like it's just been like life-changing for me to be able to do this. And, from even just first starting in the amateurs and having my first amateur fight compared to now. And like, if I look back and like, look at my first amateur fight, it like cracks me up. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like I thought it was so good back then. Right. But, it's like in this sport, you never stop learning. There's so much to like, I can and need to improve on. You just never, ever, ever stop learning. And that's like the fun part of it and the beauty of it.
Mm-hmm. We had Maricela Cornejo
Yeah.
was on earlier with us, and she talked about how boxing saved her when she was having her own addiction issues. With boxing, is it like a sort of like attrition maybe because it's punishment? Is it like a self-love to self-loathing or
Yeah.
self-loathing to self-love? Like
No, but it's
it breaks
true.
you down and builds you up. Like, what do you have those kind of thoughts or insights to yourself, or do you even think that at all about the sport and your place in it?
Yeah. I mean, like, I guess like, I don't know how to explain it, but just like you're getting punched in the head, and like it's hard. It's like, some days I can cry after sparring because I'm like, oh my God, I suck. But it's just like, all of those like demons I had when I was using drugs and like, hallucinations, all that kinds of stuff. It's like boxing is kind of like, it's so like unique because you're getting punched in the head. Like
Yeah.
most people can't do that. So I
Your
feel like
life
I
is on the
have that, like-
line. I mean, one
Yes.
punch can change everything.
Like, I feel like I've seen, like, plenty of demons, or whatever you want to call it. I've struggled with certain things in my life, like, whatever, that this is, like, it doesn't feel so scary to me.
Yeah.
It's brave. You know, boxing is like no other sport on earth. It's like nothing else. You know, everything is generated by a team dynamic. It is you and it is that person.
Yeah.
No matter all the training that you have. So it is very brave. It is a brave, just an idea of, I have to be okay with someone punching me in my face. I don't have that level of bravery because I'm going to fold up in the fetal position and cry.
I've tried it. I've sparred and I don't like it.
Do you think it? Do you find yourself to be brave?
Though. Like sometimes I'll be like in a bad mood and then I spar and I'm like, boom, you get hit and you're like, all right, like I'm back.
Oh, well, you know, good for
You're
you.
a warrior.
You know what?
You are a warrior.
Yeah, good.
Don't let anyone tell you differently. You are a warrior.
That's why we belong behind the mic and you belong behind the glove.
Exactly. I am not. I am not a warrior.
Yeah, like seriously, though, it's so funny because, like, you know, you see people when they like have weigh-ins or they walk out, they're real serious and like want to get in each other's face, and I'm just like waving at everyone, smiling, and everyone's like, "You're always smiling." I'm like, "Yeah," because like I'm just happy and I'm doing what I love. Like, how lucky am I to be able to do something that I love and it makes me happy? Like, anything can happen, but it's a sport. It's boxing. You're getting punched in the head. Like, I might get knocked down. Who knows? It's like I can't be go in there feeling negative about it, and you know it could ruin me if I lose one day. Like, I'm not gonna let it ruin me.
Yeah.
It's such a metaphor for life.
You know what's so important are the people around you, especially since you are a recovering addict, and the people we just spoke with Emmanuel, and he's like, you have to keep a close knit of friends or whoever whoever is around you. How important is that for you?
Yeah, it is super important. Like being able to trust people in this business. Like, you know, there's a lot of sketchy people out there. So me having the team that I have with Aaron, Bobby, all my training partners, everyone that I've met so far, I mean, they've been completely amazing to me. They've pushed me. They've helped me. They've just like really made me feel confident and, you know, turned me into the fighter that I am today.
I know that a little birdie told me that you originally want to be an MMA fighter.
Yeah.
So why? Well, I mean, it's still possible.
It is. Still possible,
is your ground game good? Okay, that's why you're not an MMA fighter.
Okay, I'll tell you the truth. So when I started doing jiu-jitsu back in 2016, I got into a relationship that was very bad for me, and he made me stop doing it because he thought doing grappling with men was like disgusting and blah blah blah. So that is, mostly what happened.
Disgusting, as in like you shouldn't be rolling around the ground with guys.
He ain't want nobody touching his woman. He's like, they touching your booty, and
they'd be like, they be touching
Yes.
Okay, got it. Okay,
yeah. So it was a very toxic relationship that I got out of. But by the time I got out of it, I was like, I'm happy boxing. I started training with Bobby, and I was happy.
Okay.
What was the first day in the gym? That first day, walking in, Jenwell talked to us, and then we talked to another fighter who talked about getting his ass beat every single day for a year and a half. Ziad. He said he got his ass beat every single day.
Yep.
And then young Pacquiao talks about how people step to him just because of the legacy name, just want to flex on him just because of who he is. So what was your first day like? Because it's a whole different journey for women in general, just going to the boxing gym. So what was that day for you, if you can remember?
I don't really remember, like, if you're talking about years ago, like the first day ever, I don't really remember how I felt, but I do have a video and it's hilarious.
Is this the one of you kicking? Is this the one of you kicking? Or just of you
there's
boxing?
Plenty of videos. I used to post them all the time. I need to like go back and like archive them so people don't see
Put them out. We want to see.
But
but this is the perfect time because you are fighting. So you know what? When people are like, "Who's this Chelsea Anderson?" They're like, "Oh, wait, this girl kind of can kick, but she can punch." So yeah.
No, they're like, it's like kind of funny, but it's also really cool in a way to just see like, you know, this journey, these, you know, last 7, 8, 9 years. And, you know, I think I started watching more MMA first, and then that's when, like, Ronda Rousey was, like, popular, and I was like, I want to beat Ronda Rousey, and then Holly Holm did it for me, so.
Kicked her brains.
Yeah, right?
That was a hell of a night.
And it wasn't even boxing. That was a crazy part about it. She knocked her out with a roundhouse kick or some crazy thing. I was like, oh, wait,
That was a
whoa,
crazy
that
night.
was so fast.
I was in my
That's
house
the striker
screaming.
versus, judo. It's like when you look at like even the way like Ronda, like her stance was, you could tell like she's been doing judo her whole life. Like that girl would flip me on my back and rip my arm off in half a second. You know what I mean?
I bet she's not striking with you though.
Yeah.
No,
I'd
not these
strike
days.
with
Back
her.
then she probably could. But.
I don't know. I don't think so.
Oh my goodness.
I never was I like Ronda Rousey. I'm a fan of her. I'm a fan of her in WWE, but her striking was always
It wasn't up to par with like Holly
a
Holm
little
or
spaghetti.
And girls are starting to catch up. I'm
what do you
looking
think
at,
of Chris Cyborg as a striker? She wants to come in the boxing.
gosh.
Oh.
I used to spar with her boxing.
Okay. Okay. Oh.
Oh my god. This was in like 2018 before she lost to Nunes.
Yeah.
But like I went in there Ruka one day to spar someone else and I saw Jason Perillo and I was like, hey, can I spar Cyborg? And he's like, sure. And then so I went, multiple times, but God, she hit so hard.
Does she?
She weighs got 30 pounds on me, like
Because you know what, there are talks that maybe Katie Taylor and her could be the next money fight.
That's to me, thinking about that fight happening is wild because what weight would that be at? She can't make 135.
Yeah, we watched that documentary with Cyborg struggling and crying in the bathtub.
At 140, when I think she weighed in at 145, it's like,
and that was a struggle.
There's no way unless Katie goes up to 147. But like, what's
Katie's,
the point? Like, what benefit does she get?
Money.
Katie could come in at 170 pounds and she would box Cyborg's ears off.
Yeah, she would.
Right.
And I mean,
It's
to
just
be fair,
different
we've never seen Cyborg in a boxing match, so I can't really say can she box, but I've seen her strike, but I don't know her as a boxer. That's the thing. But we still want you on the show, Cyborg.
Yeah. It's just so different, like MMA striking and boxing, and I think a lot of people don't realize that. Like it's really different.
All right. Well, you are in a really a very talented heavy division. We've talked about it. I mean, it's almost like a running theme for a lot of our interviews. But you are in the lightweight division: Amanda Serrano, Delphine Persoon, Estelle Mosley, Miriam Gutierrez, Terry Hubbard, which we just mentioned. And then you also think about Michaela Mayer has even thought about moving up to face Katie Taylor or Serrano, Hamadouche. Those girls have to move up. They're gonna either they stay at that weight, but they know the money fights are in your division. And eventually you're going to have to want to fight those because you want that hardware. What do you think of your division so far?
I mean, Katie Taylor has dominated this division for years. So, I mean, that's definitely a fight that I would love to have in the future, but I really need more experience first. And, that 2-year layoff with COVID didn't help. I should have more fights by now, but couldn't.
It's all right. Everyone says the same thing. Some people couldn't go pro. They couldn't go to the Olympics. They end up going pro. So,
right? Isn't that crazy? So that kind of, put a halt to everything. But I think now, since the Elvina fight and Jessica fight, like I'm on a good path to getting there. I just need a couple more fights just to like really, get rounds in and just get my skills down and all of that.
No, you're on the right path, dear.
Exactly.
Yeah, just keep showing up, and doing what you do best. Don't do anything fancy because once you do, that's when you fuck up. Just, if you want to knock them out early, do it.
Do it.
Yeah,
nobody's getting paid for overtime.
Nobody.
That's my plan for the next fight, though. So.
We can't wait.
Well, I'll be there.
Yep. She will be there. Drink in hand.
There.
Everyone that's watching, buy Jeandra a drink. Yes.
And then we'll sit down, and after you have your victory, we'll talk about your fight and what you did well and next steps for sure.
I do have a question. Since you are high on Katie Taylor, especially, I mean, it's in your vision. When you watched that fight against Amanda Serrano, who did you have winning? Who won that fight?
I'd have to probably go back and watch it again to really, I wasn't scoring it when I was watching it. I was honestly really emotional watting it.
Yeah,
just the woman. Like when they're walking out, I was like,
yes,
crying.
us too. We were crying.
On this level, incredible. Like I love to see it because people don't see how hard we have to work to get there.
Yeah.
Because it's harder for us.
You know, Buddy McGirt said women fight, they fight harder.
He said he knows if he sees a women's fight, it's going to be a good fight because women are going to work hard. They had to work hard to get there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so
we got to prove something.
Yeah,
we got to make people want to watch
exactly
us.
what he said.
Exactly what he said. You guys, ladies have to prove something. And this is coming from a Hall of Fame trainer, a Hall of Fame fighter. So, I mean,
what a stable full of future Hall of Famers.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's fighting on freaking Joshua, the Usyk Joshua undercard. So, it's incredible. So, you know what? When women get down and out, just trust me, the men that we have interviewed, and we're talking world champions, ex-world champions, Hall of Famers, Roy Jones Jr. is a huge
advocate for women.
Yes. So you know what? Just know that they're all watching you and they're all cheering you on because they know how hard it is. They really are. They genuinely know what it takes to get in the gym, and they know that you have, not you, but like women have babies and it's hard. So just kudos to you guys and thank you for doing what you do, and good luck to you August 4th.
Thank you. I'm really excited for this fight. It's, it's the next step into bigger and better things.
For sure.
Do you want to tell a message why everyone should tune in August 4th to UFC Fight Pass or buy some tickets if they're in town?
Yes, please. If you're in town, it's in Montebello, August 4th for 360. I got tickets. Buy some tickets. Come watch. And I promise you there will be some knockdowns and maybe a knockout, but I like to keep showing my power in this right hand, and I think you guys will have a lot of fun.
And for our people who are new to you, please give us your social medias and how people can keep up with your journey.
Okay, I just got good old Instagram that you can follow, and it's at Chelsea with a Y, CHELSEY, 2_ MAE.
Oh,
that's all you need. You don't need no Twitter.
2_. Someone else had the other one.
What? The how can someone have the same exact name?
Mitigated gall.
I know. There's 9 million Chelsea Maes. It's kind of
and with the same spelling.
See, now look, this is what you have to do. So now you have to monitor the other person. And because as you continue to knock people out, people are going to go to the wrong one and troll that girl. And she's going to be like, I'm not even a boxer.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I should check and make sure if she's still there or not.
Exactly. Send her, if she's, see where she's at, send her tickets to the fight.
There you go. Well, Chelsea, best of luck to you August 4th. We want to see some knockouts, but regardless, we want to see you in good health after the fight.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thanks
for having me on.
Thank you for taking the time. Yes. Oh, Jeandra, this was a good edition of 360 Hollywood Fight Night.
I know, a whole 360 takeover. I love it.
Love it.
Exciting stuff. Exciting fight. Man, this is going to be a great night at the Quiet Cannon. So make sure you guys get tickets.
Yeah, Jeandra, you better go. I am pushing you. I don't care if you have a Hollywood red carpet. I'd be like, girl. I'd be like, Sal, and my boxing peeps. Let me see. Albert Baker is going to be there. His wife, Lena Baker. I know Albert. Nancy. I know them. Elvis Grant.
Probably Steven too.
Yeah, Steven will definitely be. It's down the street from us. We got Grant Gloves, Elvis Grant. They're going to be there. I definitely know they're going to be there. So, girl, you need to Hey.
I'm about to show up. Everybody turn up for your girl. I want knockouts because the last fight I went to was on my birthday. And
Boots gave you a good knockout.
Boots knocked out somebody. Charlo had a great victory. It was a
good night.
A good night. And I want another good night at the Quiet Cannon.
All right. Well, Jeandra, this is it for us.
Our first full day
in
our new studio.
In the new temporary studio until we get ours actually built out. So if people are like, that's the Boxing Voices studio. No shit, Sherlock.
Yes,
it is
we're
the Boxing Voices
company.
studio. We are the same company. This is their studio until we actually get ours. Ours is going to be much more prettier and brighter. Very glam. So again, like I said, we have shot many fire content that's going to be going down in the YouTube, in the Instagram, in the TikTok, in the I don't know where else. Twitter.
All the places y'all be.
And remember, it's also on our personal YouTubes. Oh no, not personal YouTubes. Our personal Instagram and personal Twitter where we do retweets. So make sure you guys like, share, subscribe.
And if you're weird and you don't want to look at all this fineness on camera, you can catch us on iTunes, on Spotify.
Oh yeah,
Apple Podcasts, all that stuff. I mean, I know you guys like looking at us, but if you just want to listen, you can do that too.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to listen on a nice long car drive and just listen to our sexy sexy voices.
Sexy
yes.
voices. We're gonna do ASMR versions.
Oh.
Welcome to the Best Women's
Yeah.
Boxing Show.
I'm
Period.
Cynthia Conte. And that's Jeandra LeBeauf.
And I'm Jeandra LeBeauf, and that's Cynthia Conte.
And our new engineer, Alex Nava.
Hello, Alex. Shout out to him.
All right. Well, we're going to just wrap this one up because we are a little too cray-cray. We are super excited, but thank you guys again for your support, and thank you for getting us monetized. We will be
Mama,
doing.
we made it.
Yeah, we're still going. We still got to get monetized on TikTok and all of our other
And
socials.
help us stay monetized.
Yeah.
Watch these videos,
Yeah.
like, subscribe, turn your post notifications on, and send it to your friends. Repost it on Facebook and all them places. Hell, put it on the dark web, wherever y'all be. LinkedIn, all
Tag
that.
us and then we'll retweet
Tag
it.
us.
That's it.
Yeah. We'll do a share for share. When you guys watch the show, screen record your favorite part of the show and we'll share it on your
and we'll
social.
follow you.
Exactly.
And then also let us know if you guys have any future guests that you want us to interview. Trust me, we will find a way to get people on this show, whether it's Zoom or their butts right here on the Brown Table Talk
Exactly.
with the Brown folks.
And if we have our limited run of Best Women's Boxing Show period t-shirts that are coming. Shout out to our boy Drew Nichols for the merch. And I'm telling you, that will be the only version of that shirt. So if you want the shirt, they're going to be numbered and autographed. If you want one, you better buy it because that version will be no more. That's our inaugural version. It's fundraising for us. Support your girls in a meaningful way and get a t-shirt.
Yeah, and then also, you know what? I'm going to kind of sneak over because I know I didn't. You have it in your office.
You looking hella fine. See, they can't see you from this perspective.
Yeah, you know what? I've been working my ass off to
You're
lose
looking
this
good.
baby weight.
No, you're not working your ass off.
I'm
You're working to make
air-
that ass right. Make
my
it
ass, yeah, my ass is lifted. It looks good. And it's
looking
real. Okay?
Real stuff.
It's real.
Real hot girl shit.
And so, but I just want to give a shout out. We're going to wear it for another show. Jeandra has one, but she left it in the office.
Yeah, it's over there.
There we go. It's,
That's so cute.
This is so true.
Saturday. I love that.
Can you see that? Saturdays are for boxing.
They certainly are.
Yep. And then we got a great hoodie. And shout out to them.
Oh, thank you.
Oh
That's
my
so
God.
nice.
They made my actual podcast, The Real Fight with Cynthia Conte. I did one. It was my second official podcast with Bob Arum. It was called
that was a
88th
great
and
one.
Hustle with Jay Chaudhry. And they made me a hoodie like this that sits on my boxing shelf. And it's like very special to me. So for them to give us some merch, and thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
We will wear this for another show.
We sure will. Not now though, because it's hot.
It's hot as balls in here, but it will be on another episode where we get to look at this. It's so cute.
It's so
you guys
dope. And
check out their
Saturdays are
merch.
for
It's
boxing.
cute. Yeah. But okay, we're gonna wrap this episode up. But thank you guys again. I'm not sure exactly. I'll just look at my camera, Alex. But thank you guys again for tuning in to another episode of the Best Women's Boxing Show. And I'm gonna look at the other camera so we get Jeandra. And again, I'm Cynthia Conte.
And I'm Jeandra LeBeauf.
Thank you again. See you guys at the fights. Bye, guys.